Hello and welcome to Living Life Naturally. I'm your host, Lynn Wadsworth, a board certified holistic health practitioner and a certified wellness cooking instructor, and I'm here to help you walk in your own truth as you enter into this new and exciting season of life. So here on the podcast, we explore everything that helps you thrive, not just survive, in this powerful season of life. We talk about natural, holistic solutions for your health, your hormones, your energy, and your mindset, because midlife isn't the end of the story, it's the beginning of an entirely new chapter. So before we dive into today's conversation, I'd love to invite you ladies to come and join me in my free Facebook community, the Energized Healthy Women's Club. It's a beautiful space where I share weekly tips, strategies, and inspiration to help you boost your health, vitality, and well-being in natural, practical ways. So grab your favorite cup of tea, get cozy, and let's get into today's episode. Well, hello, ladies, and welcome back to our Living Life Naturally podcast. And of course, this is the place, ladies, where you can get all kinds of information on different things that will affect your life through perimenopause, menopause, and beyond. And so today we have an expert joining us, and I'm so thrilled to start this chat with her, and it's Dr. Sofia Din. She is a New York-based board-certified family physician with over 25 years of medical experience, and she specialized in geriatrics and hospital care at one point, and then she shifted from treating disease to proactively optimizing health, wellness, beauty, and longevity. And she's an immigrant from Pakistan. She completed her medical training twice, first in her home country, again in the US, and this gave her a very rare perspective that blends Eastern and Western approaches to medicine. And her work as a medical director and lead geriatrician reshaped her view of aging, leading her to conclude that aging gracefully, a phrase I love to use, and aging helplessly are mutually exclusive. So she's actually the author of Do We Really Need Botox? And she shares a holistic, science-backed framework for extending health span and beauty span without excessive surgery. She's been in major press, TV, TEDx, and she engages audience with practical, empowering strategies to fit their bodies out of life's natural pauses, maximize vitality, and redefine beauty as an essential part of wellness. So this is really in our wheelhouse, Dr. Din. We're so thrilled to have you with us today. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for such a great intro. And that's exactly what I tell people that I do. I basically assist what I have trained in, and it seems that what I've coming to a point in my life is that I can tell that people need medical grade treatments, whether it is skincare or whether it is hair treatments or whether it's any of the body treatments after a certain point in time, and usually that's the pause. So I know that your interest in menopause is something that aligned with what the pretty much the entirety of the work that I'm conducting for a lot of people. So basically it's menopause and andropause that we take care of. So menopause is basically when your system faces an all system pause. So menopause was not, we didn't understand menopause as much as we are beginning to comprehend now. It's kind of coming together, and all the little pieces and bits of complaints that women used to always come out with. And listen, women are not complainers. That's one problem. We do not complain enough. When you go to your doctor, I don't know how much complaining you do, but like when you go to the doctor, basically we're basically waiting for them to find something. in your blood. We do not give enough input to our medical providers and tell them and to make them aware of what we are going through. And that's something I tell people that, when your doctor comes and meets you, that person probably, if that person is working for your medical insurance, that person has only 5 minutes to spend with you. So you gotta like quickly tell them what you're going through so
Right.
that they can adequately assess what's going on. So I feel that one of the things that we are now realizing is that all system pause is the aggregate picture. The larger picture is that all of your body's organs are pausing. So women can have during menopause, or actually during a period that precedes menopause, which is called perimenopause, which can actually last for like almost 10 years before you
Yeah.
experience actual pause. And then another pause, the thing that we also must remain mindful about as women is when you are pregnant and you give childbirth repeatedly over a short period of time, your body can experience these pausal symptoms even earlier in life. So even though your pelvic systems and your reproductive system hasn't paused, but it goes through this shock of creation again and again. So birth, rebirth. So many times women, their systems start becoming sluggish, and different bodily organs, whether it's heart or immune system or something, it starts misregulating and cannot come together the way it was before those births. So that those systems also, those periods of time when you are that slow, or when you're that phased, or in a daze, in a state of like this, where you're depleted completely, that also can create like a little pause, which your system needs to be relieved of. So I have found that in the work that I do is basically just how to lift your body out of this naturally programmed pauses, which actually do happen in women when they're in their late 40s or 50s. Or sometimes they can happen earlier in time in
Mm.
younger women if they're having children, one on top of each other, and they're also living a life of extreme stress, because motherhood is nothing but stress. You're going to
Yes.
add the stress of
Yes.
loving this human and protecting them for the next 25, 30, actually all your life. So even when they leave, you'll be stressed of whenever you think of them. Do you have children? I mean, let me
I
ask you
I
now.
do. I have two children, because they're older now. So yeah, you have them all your life, but you never stop worrying about them. It can be very stressful, even when they're moved out of the house, they've got their own families, it's still stressful.
Being a female is hard, and female, not only you are a creator of new life, but also you have to protect that new life and raise them to a point where they can be self-sufficient themselves. However, in the midst of all that, once your children are all grown, and once you can like breathe, take a breath and breathe a sigh of relief for 5 moments, you realize that you're facing the biggest crocodile of your life, which is menopause.
Yes.
And that crocodile has its mouth open and it's gonna come and, so first of all, create obstacles to in your path. So you will see that, the first signs of perimenopause, which is about to become menopause, first start becoming visible in your skin. So your skin
Mm.
starts feeling old, it starts aging very quickly because the hormones are no longer there, the moisture is gone. Many of the nutrients that our skin requires are carried by these hormones, which were being produced by your ovaries. So when that production goes down and your estrogen and progesterone are completely tanking, and your testosterone is completely tanking, at that point, many of the nutrients that your skin used to get a hold of through your gut or through other systems are no longer reaching
Mm.
it. So your skin
Mm.
sometimes starts showing the first signs of pause and perimenopause way earlier in life. So women usually, I notice the cracks appearing in your
Mhm.
system. When you look at yourself, you're like, oh my God, I have like a crack here, a crack here, a crack here, a crack, and I have like this going here. So that the elasticity of the skin where it used to wrap your consciousness at a certain point is no longer there anymore. And you realize that all that, basically, when you're younger, every single organ of your body can regenerate itself. That's why, there is the concept of longevity medicine is basically regenerative medicine. We want your body to start producing that production that it stops during the pause of nutrients, minerals, and all the products you give it to your body. When you were younger, you would give it orally, and sometimes you wouldn't even give it orally, and it would just create magic for you just by when you would go to sleep. However, after the pause, it's like you need constant refurbishing of supplies, and certain areas will require a little more attention. And that's what I basically do. I release your beauty and your health from the iron grip of menopause. And you have to do it again and again. It's just something that, you want to live your life without disease, without falling apart. You got to understand your pause. You have to understand that it's an all system pause. It's not a one system pause. We have made menopause as if it is just the pause of your pelvis. It's just like, oh, my reproductive organs are no longer needed. Basically, all my eggs are done, and we are no longer producing we're no longer producing any new, creating any new life. So at that point, once the kitchen is closed, that's when your body says, okay, then you're done with life, and you basically have to, a certain amount of things start happening. It's like a message to the brain that, we're done. Our biological role in on this planet is over. And that's when the I call the menopause or andropause in men is a naturally programmed pause in your body, which exists to help you exit the matrix of life and fertility. And after that, once it's like one or the other system first ejects, so your reproductive function first stops, but then it is led, and the next thing that falls, you can see your skin starts deteriorating very quickly. Your hair starts the hair loss in
Yes.
menopausal women
Yes.
is the first sign of perimenopause. And it's the pause of skin, because hair loss, that's how skin manifests its depletion, because the first thing that shuts off is your hair, and it's trying to conserve every single nutrient for other parts. So not only your skin is manifesting this chronic skin failure that is accelerating, but you will see that you have brain fog, your sleep starts getting disrupted, your gastric tract starts getting impacted, your muscle strength gets harder to maintain, because before you used to walk 2 miles and you used to feel so fresh, but now you're walking 20,000 miles and you're still putting on weight. The metabolic sluggishness that also accompanies menopause is very, very important for women to note, because that's when you are going to start packing on the pounds. And no matter how much you're working out. So I actively take care of women who are extremely diligent about and disciplined about workout and this and that and whatever, and they take care of themselves the way one is supposed to and the way they have learned to, and they still find it so hard to maintain themselves
Right.
post pause. And now, because we have extended your lifespan to a certain, we've doubled your lifespan.
Yeah.
Most people, like women, they basically lead these lives of silent suffering. So they suffer in silence. We don't complain. So now this generation of women is now changing. So it's women like you or myself who are like openly talking about it and figuring out what is the best suitable, most suitable path to take, and what is it that is available. So that's what I do. I mean,
Mm.
when your do it yourself treatments at home are just not enough. You may need some medical grade stuff. So I tell people that healthcare in United States and actually all over the world is now divided into sickness management and health management. So sickness management is like the healthcare that you have through your insurance. They basically act like your car insurance. They're gonna like just get triggered when you develop a disease or a disorder. So they're going to get activated. They're going to take care of your problem. It's like if your car's insurance gets activated when you get into an accident or something happens. So similarly, your health insurance, even though we call it health insurance, is not about your health. It's about your, protection of your system. So if it is in some acute danger or crisis, somebody is going to come pay for the fact to relieve you of that disease and then basically manage that disease for you once your system has a problem. However, menopause is not even considered a disease. It's just considered like a something that women go through. However, it is even though it is a natural process that we all face, because we're increasing our lifespan, we refuse to exit the matrix. So when your menopause leads to immune system dysregulation, for example, when your immune system fails, what happens? You get sick easily. You develop autoimmune diseases. You develop reactions to different foods and products and stuff because your immune system can't tell good from bad. And then you develop cancer. So many women, because basically your immune system can't track all the cancer cells that are happening because the system is disintegrating. So it just can't recognize self from bad or good from bad or self from other, and it starts attacking the system. So that immune dysregulation is also a sign of the fact that your system is pausing and can't protect itself. So you need several layers. So now when you go through menopause, but some immune dysregulation happens, your insurance will get triggered and just treat that thing. Or if you start losing your memory or losing your mental balance, your insurance will again get triggered and somebody will either treat you with depression or somebody will either treat you with memory loss and this and that, whatever issues. If your heart or other systems start failing or falling apart, you will show high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and somebody is going to get triggered and give you maybe some statins, some cholesterol medication, and some heart medicine. If when you start gaining weight, they won't even do anything about it unless you gain like 200 pounds and now you're so obese that they have to give you surgery or they have to do something like other, because something's gone off. And your fat cells are an organ by itself. If your fat cell is everywhere, it's like some fat cell is a good thing, but too many fat cells when you're eating some of the, so again, sometimes women try to fix their depression and emotional problems with food, and that doesn't help their metabolic sluggishness also. So they end up also becoming pre-diabetic. They end up also developing fat pads around their mid gut, which causes even more pressure on all their organs. And then they have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, they have fatty liver. So your liver is basically a cleaning system, and then it's not cleaning all the toxic stuff that you are putting inside you. And then sometimes women try to fix these problems by taking supplements. Now, supplements, not all supplements are created equal, unfortunately,
Right.
because nobody
Yeah.
is regulating that stuff. So you have to first find appropriate supplements that your doctor or somebody, identifies for you. And then the other supplement thing is that, sometimes when you're taking water soluble supplements, they are not going to last through your stomach cleanse, where your stomach cleans everything that you put inside your mouth with harsh acid because it wants to protect you. It is that area where everything gets cleaned before it's fed to your system. So, that's how we have evolved. This is like a very intelligent design. So when you put like water soluble vitamins inside your stomach, that acid just ruins every single identifier onto that vitamin. So by the time it gets into your gut biome for absorption, your gut biome, which is another line of protection
Right.
for your system, that gut biome cannot recognize those tiny little elements that you just placed inside your mouth, and they don't open their door, because by the time you're menopausal, your gut biome is just as jaded as you are. It is not going to open its doors and say, oh yeah, to anything that's passing through to come inside. Just like you won't open your door and let anybody who's passing outside on your street, you won't let them in until something is specifically designed for you. So you want to understand first your body, and then realize that what's happening during pause is that you have to sometimes bypass the gut and give nutrients to the body directly. And that's something that we also do for menopausal women, and tends to help. The other trouble that with supplements is that every supplement that is over the counter has tons of preservative, because they're
Right.
supposed to sit there on some shelf before you purchase it, and then it's going to sit in your shelf before you finally consume it. So it's supposed to last. So it lasts not because it's like, I mean, try to make a banana last somewhere. It's not going to
Right.
last. But meanwhile, you're a perishable item. So you don't want to put something inside your system in large amounts, which is basically, I mean, even if it is preservative, you're trying to do something good. So the good stuff that you're putting in is going to get destroyed in first pass, and the preservative that is that was supposed to keep that good thing safe is going to lodge itself in your liver and just make it very sluggish, it will make it harder for your liver to cleanse your system when a true threat arises. So that is something that we're understanding a little better, and that's why we offer ladies how to lift your system out of the pause, and keep doing that, like regularly. It becomes like a new way of living your life when you are focused on health rather than management of diseases.
So, could you give us a couple of examples of what we can do to help in that pause time so that our body absorbs better or our metabolism speeds up? I guess some of your top anti-aging tips that people can try.
So a whole bunch of the things that I tell women is basically a lot of things that you get do for yourself are do it yourself. So do it yourself also is a list of things that you get to do yourself every day, which is like you make sure that you're sleeping better, you're eating real food, you're moving your body every single day, you're not only exercising peace in your internal system but also external system. So I tell people that after a certain point in life, if things just create too much, rattle your nerves, try to stay away from those people and places and whatever, because you got to maintain your sanity as you face your pause. And so those are things that hygiene in, like maintaining your system every day, you cannot lapse on that once you're entering into the pause, because when you were younger you could get away with a lot of things like alcohol, cigarettes, whatever. If you were a partier, when you're in your 20s and 30s, you'll be sick for a couple of days and then your body will like restart itself and regenerate itself. But once the pause happens, the regenerative system is so sluggish that now the same things that you could quickly get over with, they will just trap you in, in the bad symptoms for much longer period of time. So that's one of the things that I like to do first, which is, we refer to this in our clinic as something called an oil change, which is like we
Mm.
do, an intravenous treatment where we put some antioxidants, some very important water-soluble vitamins and minerals and nutrients inside your system. Like depending on where you are in your pause, like it's like either once a month or sometimes once every couple of months. And that just kind of lifts you out of that state of depletion or state of like
Mm.
where things are not getting to the end organ, which is your skin, and your
Mm.
hair. So your hair, like, hair loss is from within. It's from depletion.
Right.
And yes, sometimes, yes, of course, if you treat it too much, you put too much chemical in your brain, on your hair. So yes, maybe you did some chemical damage topically too. But basically, the loss of hair during menopause is from within. So that, treatments you have to like continuously provide because you grow your hair. It's like growing a garden. That's what I say, that it's like fertilizing and keeping your grass green, keep your hair, green, hair there for as long as you can, especially through the pause. So I do like a lot of skin restoration and hair restoration for women because that really impacts them, because your skin, when it starts disintegrating and when you look at yourself, it has an impact on women because you can actually, you see that you're facing, because remember, skin also fails as the largest organ of your body, that you own is your skin. And the face, that is your public facing face, where how you recognize yourself and how others recognize you as you, is very important. It's a very important structure for your perception of self and for your, how you view yourself. My podcast is actually called Bathroom Diaries, and actually I just recently rebranded it, and that's one of the reasons that I'm, doing these podcasts also, is to uh, promote my podcast about it, which is like I used to call it Anti-Aging with Dr. Giovanni, but now I call it Bathroom Diaries because I want, as during menopause, one of the things you have to face is your own self, because you can put a filter on your face, you can put makeup on your face, you can hide from everyone else, but you cannot hide from yourself. The hardest person to fool is your own self.
Mm.
So I basically tell women that, how to face yourself, and how to, if you want to, like, for up until a certain point you will realize that, you can manage it by not seeing the doctor. But at certain point, you will see that, oh, it just, I do need some medical grade skincare. And medical grade skincare is usually some medications that need to be injected under your skin. And so sometimes these are device managements where it harnesses the energy of certain things. As we use energy of light, we use energy of sound, we use radio frequency, which basically is energy transfer into your skin to revive it and like kind of bend time for women. Now, these treatments are basically non-surgical when you start using them during your many perimenopause. So this is during your perimenopause. So your skin is pausing because your system is beginning to decline. It's pausing. So recognizing it early and starting to preserve it early is like the key to maintaining yourself, where you do not need cosmetic surgery later on, because chronic skin failure, when it accumulates, the skin completely fails, and when the skin completely fails, it falls. So once it has completely failed, then it is very hard to reconnect it back to your brain cells
Mm.
non-surgically. So that's when you actually go to a cosmetic surgeon or a plastic surgeon. They will chuck out the failed part of your skin and sew it back together for you. And many women during menopause, at some point in during their pause, it becomes so much, the failure has accumulated so much that they just have to get it resected surgically. However, my thing in this is that if women start protecting their skin earlier in life and starting during perimenopause, and do not let the chronic skin failure accumulate too much, then they should not need to get excised. And basically, why I am personally not in favor of cutting the skin, because I feel that your skin is the holder of your consciousness, and your skin cells and your brain cells are eternally related. They are quantum entangled. These two cells, the skin cells and your brain cells, are quantum entangled at birth, because when you are one cell embryo, the outermost layer of that embryo, the embryonic cells, which is called ectoderm, half of it turns into your brain and the other half turns into your skin. So these cells were old soulmates. So each part of your skin is represented inside your brain. So when your skin fails, it means that your brain cell it cannot recognize, cannot connect with the skin cell and cannot see it. So then that cell fails. So basically, when you are doing during perimenopause, somebody with some of these energy devices and treatments, we basically are connecting it back to the brain every time it is coming off. Listen, your skin is going through, first of all, we live on a planet which is going like this. It's always turning. Plus, we have gravity going through us. Plus, we're going through, hormonal disbalance. And then just life is happening. So a lot of wear and tear is happening environmentally and inside. So the treatments also during the pause require like an inside out or an outside in, the whole full section. So we have to treat the whole body. And the thing is that skin is also the holder of all your organs. So every single organ gets represented in your skin, and if anything even inside your skin is failing, your skin will show. So I say that your skin tells your story before you do. It can tell that story not only to anybody who can read it, because you have to be aware to be able to tell that what is the sign and what is the symptom. But for example, think liver failure. For people whose livers are failed, you see that they get jaundiced and they're yellow. So you see, when the skin is aging, or when the skin is, where they are in time. It's basically a clock. Your face shows everything.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate you coming on and giving us all this wonderful information today. Where is the best place for people to find you?
So, well, if you are interested in finding out more about how to treat menopause, or how to understand the different signs and symptoms of menopause or perimenopause, and where you are in time, I talk about this all the time and have been doing it for many years on a podcast. It's now called Bathroom Diaries with Dr. Din. And so feel free. It's available on Spotify and on and Apple Podcasts, so wherever they're available. Plus, my actual real office is in New York. So if somebody wants to come and visit me there, I am in New York. And I also have a website which is called BotoxGuru.org. And that is something that I try to put as much information over there also. And I also have a Substack, which is also Dr. Giovanni's Substack. So you should be able to find that.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today on the Living Life Naturally podcast. I really hope you enjoyed today's conversation and that it inspired you, encouraged you, and reminded you that midlife isn't something to endure, it's a season to embrace. So if you enjoyed this episode, would you do me a huge favor? Please take a minute to leave a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. And don't forget to follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you'll be the first to know when new episodes drop. So until next time, ladies, remember, you are strong, you are wise, and you are just getting started. Take care of yourself because you are so worth it.